Hello book lovers and welcome to Book Talk Radio Club. My name is Claire Harris and today I'm talking to author Tracey Gerrard. Tracey is an international selling author with her Ain't Nobody series, When We Dance, When We Hurt and When We Love. These are erotic romance stories that take you on an exhilarating and explosive journey into the lives of Holly Spencer and Vladimir Petrov. However, exciting news for fans of this talented author, a new romance novel titled The Deeper We Fall. This was recently published and I see is already receiving rave reviews from delighted readers. Hello Tracey, first of all welcome and thank you for coming back to talk to me on Book Talk Radio Club about your new book.
Hi Claire, thanks for having me back.
My pleasure. The Deeper We Fall, would you like to give us a brief synopsis of the story, Tracey?
Yeah, of course. The Deeper We Fall is a love story set around Sebastian Petrov and Isabel Shaw and told from both points of view. They meet during an interview for a new bar assistant manager's job at the Eruption, a prestigious nightclub which is owned by Sebastian and his father. Izzy is late for her interview and makes such a dramatic entrance that she captures Sebastian's attention in the first instance. Besides the attraction between them, her eyes tell him so much. He sees she's fallen on hard times, being her, and needs this job, and for whatever reason this pulls at his heartstrings, scaring the hell out of him. She has intrigued him, and even though he knows she's not the best of applicants, and that she could have landed him in a whole heap of trouble if he employs her, he goes ahead anyway. Sebastian is besotted with her and relentless in trying to get her to go on a date with him. Unable to fight her attraction any longer, she agrees. Their relationship is everything they knew it would be. It's fun, full of romance and as hot as hell. And before they know, they fall in love. However, Izzy has been keeping a secret which is eating away at her, and on the evening she decides to come clean. A blast from her past enters the club, throws their relationship wide open, leaving it in tatters. They're both left hurting, and because Sebastian has a stubborn streak and won't listen to reason, Izzy's not just left broken-hearted, but is also left wondering how safe the job she needs is. Sebastian is a wreck, and when his father sees just what the breakup is doing to his son, he intervenes, bringing Izzy and a little surprise to stay at their home, giving Sebastian the biggest shock of his life. Sebastian knows he needs to talk to Izzy and try to mend things, but after the surprise that's just landed on his doorstep, he's angered and hurt that she didn't trust him enough to tell him about the most important thing in her life. He needs time to think and get his head around what has happened. Izzy is left on tender hooks and unsure whether she's made the right decision on taking Vlad's offer. There's more than just herself to think about, and waiting around for Sebastian to come to his senses isn't something she's willing to do. However, after some serious thought and a lot of discussions with their housekeeper about the man who was driving her crazy, she decides to give him the benefit of the doubt in the hopes they can rekindle their relationship and move on from where they left off.
So here we have some new characters then. We've got Sebastian and Izzy. Can you tell me a little bit about their personalities? Tell me about Izzy first of all.
Isabel has struggled all her life. She's been abandoned as a young child. At a very young age, she lost the only family member that ever cared about her. And when she thought she found someone who was gentle and caring, it turned out to be a monster. However, this hasn't deterred her in the slightest. It's made her a stronger person. She will work hard, fight hard for what she wants and for the people she loves, even if it means telling a little white lie. Sebastian is also strong, an independent young man, very mature for his age, and works hard to achieve what he wants in life. He's loyal to his family and friends, and has ladies falling at his feet. Although Sebastian has never had to worry about money or the finer things in life, he has known pain and betrayal and witnessed firsthand how it can destroy life. He's no fool, his upbringing has seen to that.
So Sebastian is a Petrov. Is he any relation of the Vladimir character in your Ain't Nobody series?
He definitely is. He's Vladimir's oldest son.
Ah. In The Deeper We Fall, is it going to be part of a new series or just a standalone?
It can be read as a standalone. It can be just Sebastian is Isabel's story on its own.
Right.
Or it can be read alongside Ain't Nobody series. There is quite a few of the same characters in the book from the Petrov side.
Right.
And I would say probably read it after, even though it's 6 years before the Ain't Nobody series, the Vlad and Holly story. It goes back and tells you how Sebastian and his relationship began and what they went through.
Oh, right. So this new book is also under the genre of erotic romance. I mean, Tracey, are we talking using camera fade out after some passionate kisses, or do we get a full description?
Yeah, you do get full descriptions, but may I add that the erotic scenes are not in every chapter, like some erotic books, and are just enough to build their relationship, between the characters and tell as the story unfolds. You just get enough.
Do you see yourself writing in a new genre in the future, or will we still be getting the erotic romance? Not that I think anyone's complaining, I might add.
Yeah, I do like to. I love romance books, and I think if you get a little bit of the description of what's going on in the bedroom in it, it's not a big deal, is it? People like it, people don't. But myself, I do at some point hope to write. I do have a fantasy fiction in work in progress at the moment.
Oh, right.
But I would love to write a series of mystery stories. I've already got some ideas for the main characters and the plot going on for the first one. So again, that's just another work in progress at the moment, something for the future. So watch this space really for that one.
Tracey, what was the inspiration for writing The Deeper We Fall?
I think when I was writing the Ain't Nobody series, I always knew I was going to write Sebastian and Izzy's story,
Right.
along with a few more characters, like Nicholas in the book as well, that's one of the brothers, and a few more. And if you don't mind me just adding, I do have, in the Ain't Nobody series, there's the solicitor, Zach, and one of the waitresses, Jen, and in one of the books you see the little bit of attraction going on. So I've just finished writing their story. The manuscript's gone off to the editor, and hopefully it'll be out by Easter.
Let's briefly go over the books in the Ain't Nobody series in case someone's missed out on the Holly and Vlad story. Starting with book 1, When We Dance. Would you like to give Book Talk Radio Club's listeners a very brief synopsis of how Holly and Vladimir meet?
Yeah, Holly's on a night out with friends in Eruption, a nightclub, and Vlad is out celebrating his birthday with a couple of mates and his eldest sons, and the old cliche that eyes meeting across the room is exactly what happens. And nearly 1,000 pages later, between the three books, there's this fantastic romance with all sorts of twists and turns going on in it, and that's how they meet.
So Vlad has a past as well, a dark past. Do we get to hear what it is? Does Holly find out, or do we have to wait until book 2, When We Hurt?
During When We Dance, you get little snippets of his past,
Right.
and some people might make out what has gone on, but you don't get the full extent until book 2, until When We Hurt, and that's when Holly finds out as well.
So talking of which, book 2, When We Hurt, Vlad is a broken man. Hurting the people closest to him was never his intention. He knows what he must do, but what must he do? Has he hurt Holly, and how?
Well, he's caused a lot of damage and hurt with his outburst, and not just to Holly, but his sons too. He needs to fix the rift between him and his sons, and he also knows he needs to disclose his past to Holly, which could go one way or the other. Physically he's not hurt her, but emotionally he's broke her heart, and in doing so he's broke his own too.
Book 3, When We Love. There's a wedding, a baby, and a shooting. Who gets shot, and will Vlad and Holly live happily ever after? Can you give us a little bit of a clue, Tracy? A little teaser?
Who gets shot? It's probably a shock to the readers because you don't see it coming for this character until you're halfway through the chapter that it happens in.
Ah, right.
I can't tell you who it is, but all I will say is the character is the funny, likeable, such a lovable character. As for Holly and Vlad Happy Ever After, I love Happy Ever Afters. So there you go.
I've interviewed many authors of all genres of fiction, and they say they have found that the characters of their books become very real to them and almost start telling the author their stories. Did this happen to you too with Sebastian and Isabel?
Yeah, I think it did, and I can understand why people say that because the characters play such a huge part in your life. You can be writing stories. I mean, some authors take a lot longer, but some it's like 2 and 3 years. Some are shorter. So they are, they're there in everything you do. You're sort of making up this story as you're going along. So yeah, I can understand that, and as you like, some of the chapters will flow really well, and it's then when I think that they've taken over, you can just always sit there and you can be just writing for hours, and there's nothing stopping you. But then other times you can be there and you can be sat with the same chapter for weeks, not getting anywhere. For whatever reason, be you can't get the words together, or you don't know where you're going. But yeah, I can understand that. But for me, I think if you've got a larger than life character, and what's happened with me is because I've taken like Vladimir Petrov, who is a big character in the Ain't Nobody series, and he's gone over into the Deeper We Fall. I had to remember this is not about him. It's about his son Sebastian, because otherwise, but he does play a big part in the book anyway. But I still have to remember, don't write too much. It's all about his son. So yeah, they do take over a little bit.
Let's talk a little bit about you now, Tracey Gerrard. You were born, raised and still live in Leeds, West Yorkshire, here in the UK, and have worked as a learning support assistant since 2005, beg your pardon. What is a learning support assistant and what does that involve?
A learning support assistant works in a classroom, as a rule. I'll keep it as short because we'd be here till tomorrow morning if I went through everything they do. But really, for me, I work with 8 to 9-year-olds.
Right.
And my job is to support them in all areas of the curriculum and to help them become independent learners to achieve their goals in life. I work alongside the teacher and everybody else in the school, really. It's a rewarding job, challenging at times, but very rewarding when you see how well they're achieving.
As I said in my intro, you're receiving some pretty good reviews for The Deeper We Fall, including, I read this one after reading Tracey's first 3 books. All I will say is, I want more. And once again, the author has not disappointed. Absolutely love this book. I would highly recommend it. A fantastic read. Tracey, are you motivated to write by the reviews or sales, and why?
I think both can encourage reviews and sales for you to write more. It is a good encouragement, you do, like, I think all authors love to hear positive feedback.
Sure.
And see the sales going up. But for me, it was I set myself a challenge to write a book. I left school at the age of 16 with a few CSEs in them days. So for me, even though I work in a school, it was a big thing to do. I enjoy reading, and I love stories with happy ever after. So it was always going to be a romance story for me with an happy ever after. Like I say, it was a challenge. It's now a hobby that, like I said, I love reading, and what better than to write something you want to read yourself?
Oh God, absolutely.
So yeah, as much as they do, they do encourage you to write.
Mm.
And like I say, all authors will love positive feedback, even you know, a bit of constructive criticism here and there is absolutely fine.
Mm.
But like for me, it is a hobby. I work full time and I write in my spare time,
Right.
which you know, and I enjoy doing it.
Lastly, where can Book Talk Radio Club's listeners purchase The Deeper We Fall and, of course, your Ain't Nobody series?
All 4 books, The Deeper We Fall and the Ain't Nobody series, When We Dance, When We Hurt and When We Love, can all be found on Amazon in paperback, ebook and on Kindle Unlimited.
Wonderful. All right, well, thank you, Tracey. Please come back on Book Talk Radio Club again. I'd love to chat with you and hear more. In the meantime, good luck for the future, and thank you, everyone, for listening to Book Talk Radio Club. Lovely to speak to you, Tracey.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
Bye.